This is Lu Mingfei, an 18-year-old boy who attends Silan Private High School. He is a top player in a game that he enjoyed playing. He didn't have many friends at school and just wanted to play games. He is content in his small world but can adapt to any environment. He lives with his uncle and auntie and hopes his parents to be back. One day he woke up from a dream. Waking up in exhaustion, he decided to play games with his friend. It's a total win for them. They talk about the game and how strong they are. At the end of the game, he and his friend said goodbye. He looks for a chat message with his classmate. It's Chen Wenwen, the girl he likes. He is confused that she doesn't reply. It's been 18 hours since she is online. He stalked her account and was stunned by his beauty. While looking at her profile, a player invited him to a game. He accepted it and found out that his opponent is strong in this game too. He now takes it seriously and is surprised that his opponent read his move. At this moment, he is defeated by this player. This player is Nguyen Yuo. She is a student at Castle College and was appointed to meet and invite Lu Mingfei to her college. Lu Mingfei is an S grade, but it's odd. She looks in the system to look for Lu Mingfei's background. Lu Mingfei starred in Chen Wenwen's profile, stunned by her beauty. Then a notification popped up. It is Chen Wenwen's reply. Lu Mingfei was surprised and became happy when his auntie called him. His auntie sends him to the store to make errands. Before scolding him, Lu Mingfei quickly left. They scolded him because of college applications and their cost. He had no money, and his parents doesn't send them any money. He became sad because his parents don't come back for him. He doesn't dream big and just wants to laze around. He just wants to watch a stall just like this old man. And that's his dream. It is relaxing just to look around and watch the newsstand. In the guard post, he asks the guard if he has a letter, and the guard said yes. He doesn't expect much about it because it's a rejection letter, but surprised that there's another one, a package that came with the letter. He signed it and quickly opened it up. It's a mobile phone. He opens the letter and it said that they invited him for an interview. It's an invitation for him to attend Castle College and offer him a scholarship. He looks at the phone's contact and there's the number of the school. He couldn't believe it and punched himself. He quickly tells it to his auntie and uncle, and they couldn't believe it as well, because he can't believe it. He daydreams that an official came to his house and get him to get out of their house. He knows that it is just an imagination, and what is happening can't be real. He laughs about it and sighs. The phone rings and his auntie answers it. She told Mingfei that they asked him to go for an interview. Lu Mingfei can't believe it. In the evening, he talks about it to his friend and is happy about it. The next day, he is amazed at how big is the hotel, how prestigious is the interior, and shocked that his classmate is about to get interviewed too. His classmates don't seem to want him to be there, but he just let it go because his crush is in there. He is happy that Chen Wenwen is in there and says hi to her. A student came out of the interview room exhausted. They are surprised that he came out too quickly. Chen Wenwen was called by an interviewer. Lu Mingfei said good luck to her with a smiley face. Nervous about what is happening, Chen Wenwen finally gets out and asks what they do inside. Chen Wenwen is about to tell him what they ask, but the interviewer calls him. It's time to interview him. Entering the room, he was shocked about something. It is a presence that can't be explained. The examiner approaches him. She is a Kisakatoku. Lu Mingfei don't know what to do and said hello in Japanese. They started now the exam. She first asks him, "Do you believe in aliens?" He couldn't believe that the question is not what he expected. It was nothing he had prepared for but answer it. He thought it was a joke and the answer are yes. She asks him, "Tell us why." He answers it seriously, logically, and rationally. The second question is, "Do you believe in superpowers?" He answers it yes in a childish way. What an enthusiastic answer. The question is, "Do you think the basis of human existence is teleological of the spirit and soul or materialistic of matter and the flesh?" He is surprised about it. From the start, it is a question of science fiction, fantasy, and political topics. It is a question from a prestigious college. He gives up. He gives up and just comes out. One of his classmates laughed at him because he came out too quickly. He ignores it and quickly runs, hoping to catch up with Chen Wenwen. After he leaves, Nguyen Yuo and a professor quickly went to the interviewer's room. It is Professor Good. He asks about the result of his interview. One of the examiners said it has abstained. Lu Mingfei gives up, he said. Professor Good scolded them that they didn't stop him and got down to their knees just to please him not to go. Lu Mingfei catches up Chen Wenwen. Chen Wenwen said that she wants to graduate before organizing a literary society party. She wants to go to a small cinema tomorrow afternoon and ask him to go with her. Lu Mingfei enthusiastically said yes to Chen Wenwen. He agrees to go with her, and Chen Wenwen says goodbye. Lu Mingfei looked at her while walking away from him. In his mind, it is okay to go or not to go to Castle College, if he can marry Chen Wenwen. On his way home, he was surprised by what his auntie and uncle said to him. Professor Good from Castle College called and said he passed in his interview. Professor Good asked him to have breakfast at the hotel tomorrow. He is shocked about it and Professor Good happily welcomed him. His auntie gets down about the business. If Mingfei gets to the school, Professor Good interrupted her and said that if Mingfei was admitted to the school, he is given an amount of money for his scholarship. His auntie agrees with Professor Good in an instant. Lu Mingfei asks Professor Good why he passed the exam. Professor Good said that he is a once-in-a-century young talent. His family laughed at it. Professor Good gives him a letter, which is a reason for admitting Lu Mingfei to his school. It is a letter from his parents. Hesitating to get it, Professor Good grab his hand and tell him that his parents loved him. While his auntie and uncle talking with the professor, he excused himself and went to the bathroom. He cried while reading the letter. This letter's contents contain that his parent asking Professor Good to help him to admit to Castle College and help him make his career in academia. He cried a lot that another student take notice of it. It is Nuonuo. She said that he is in the ladies' bathroom, walking to the dining area. Lu Mingfei and Nuonuo walked awkwardly. She gets his breakfast and Professor Good notices it. She said that he doesn't have an appetite cause he overthinks that he walked into a ladies' bathroom. Professor Good was surprised about it and jumped to a conclusion that Lu Mingfei doesn't think about it yet. He said yes, and his auntie and uncle were surprised. Professor Good asks why. Nuonuo said that probably because of his girlfriend. Lu Mingfei stand in shock and denied it. His family doesn't believe it because doesn't have a friend yet he has a girlfriend. It's just a wild guess. He thinks out loud. Nuonuo hear about it and said one phrase. Lu Mingfei recognizes it. It is a phrase that is said by the one who defeats him in a game. He now recognized her. In the evening, Lu Mingfei is on the roof, thinking that Nuonuo knows so much, sighing about all the information that he can't comprehend. Castle College, his parents, and Chen Wenwen. He is amazed by Nuonuo about knowing what he is hesitating for Chen Wenwen. He wants to tell Chen Wenwen a story, staring at the sky and shouted. He tells a story about a robot and a little girl that are distant apart by the universe. He relates it to them. He is the robot and Chen Wenwen is a little girl. He likes this story and became sad. Nuonuo in his back ask, why don't you just ask her? Lu Mingfei was shocked that he nearly fall on the roof. He is surprised why Nuonuo is in there, a man who confessed his love over the phone. She said that Lu Mingfei is boring. They don't know each other well. Nuonuo said that they didn't need to know each other, but Professor Good asked her to persuade Lu Mingfei. He is still thinking about it. It is Chen Wenwen. Nuonuo said. Lu Mingfei doesn't deny it. She said, do you want to let me tell you what Chen Wenwen is thinking? He agrees. Nuonuo real talking. She doesn't like you. Come to Castle College cause you lose in love anyway. Lu Mingfei argues and doesn't want it. Nuonuo helps him to analyze the situation. Have you ever sent flowers to her? Have you ever seen a movie with her? Have you given a birthday present to her? She said. Lu Mingfei's self-esteem was reduced. He feels small for himself. Liked a girl for so long. He never sent a flower or watched a movie with her. Never give her a birthday present. And yet he still wants the girl to like him. Could you be more uncouth? She said angrily to him. But he still likes her. He can't help it. Silently telling her that he likes Chen Wenwen. Professor Good calls Nuonuo, asking her if she persuades Lu Mingfei and authorizes her to use force just to join them. She dropped the call and asks him if what he said is real. She tells him that bring roses, play a piece of romantic music as background, and find a nice place. And then tell her how he loved her. He put all his effort into this love and take a risk. This is how a man loved. While he succeeds, the door of Castle College is closing for him. He said yes enthusiastically, and by tomorrow afternoon he is planning to confess. Nuonuo said her goodbyes and jumped to the rooftop. Lu Mingfei was amazed by Nuonuo. On her way home, Nuonuo asks the system to tell her Chen Wenwen's profile. The next day afternoon, Lu Mingfei accompanied Chen Wenwen to prepare for the event, walking happily and telling Chen Wenwen a story. She asked him where he go to college and he said just anywhere where he can be admitted in. Nuonuo suddenly appeared in front of them. Chen Wenwen asks who she is, and they said just she is his junior sister. Chen Wenwen takes his leave for them to talk. Lu Mingfei was disappointed and asked Nuonuo. She messed up the atmosphere. Lu Mingfei needs to leave immediately. That's not what you said yesterday. He said. He needs to make a decision now. He doesn't want to leave Chen Wenwen and willing to abandon his offer from Castle College. Nuonuo gives up. For him, Chen Wenwen is more important. In his home, he practiced how to confess in front of the mirror so that his cousin take notice of it. His cousin tells his mom what is happening to Lu Mingfei. He collected a flower and asked the guy for a piece of background music. His preparation is done and waiting for the right timing in the bathroom. One of his classmates approached him. He gives him a suit that needs to wear for formality. He wears it and gets out of the bathroom. His classmate noticed it and said, "Everyone look, a monkey is wearing a suit." He just ignores it and looks for Chen Wenwen. One of his classmates tells him what he is going to do. He is surprised by the arrangements and suddenly the lights go off. He feels the romantic vibe and it is time for him to confess. He jumped into the stage and take his place, but he is surprised that two of his classmates are there too. A sentence flash on the screen saying "I love you." It is a confession. The one who gives him a suit walks in front of the stage holding roses confessing to Chen Wenwen. Lu Mingfei is shocked that he can even say anything. Chen Wenwen accepted his confession. Lu Mingfei dropped the flower he is holding and became sad. A guy that he appointed to do the music appears and gives him a thumbs up. He just smiles and then Nuonuo in her stunning dress and students appears. She walks down toward Lu Mingfei and calls him by another name. "David Ricardo, still wasting your time here. Did you forget? There are more important things waiting for us," Nuonuo said. His classmate was shocked about it. "Didn't you leave?" Lu Mingfei asks. How could I leave? You didn't even promise that you come with me, David Ricardo, she answered. Lu Mingfei fell into tears and she asked the other student to change his clothes. Nuonuo said sorry and tells Lu Mingfei's classmate that they needed to take David Ricardo. The one who confessed to Chen Wenwen argues that it is not his name. But Nuonuo replied, he has a different name in every different place. Walking toward Lu Mingfei, she grabbed his hands and asked him to escort her walk away. All of his classmates were surprised and wondered who he is. Nuonuo asks him to take another look at Chen Wenwen, but he denied it and said, no need, I'd like to move forward. Riding in a Ferrari with a girl who took him from his sad moment. He looked up at the sky and thought that he never thought about it. Being set up to steal a confession and being picked up by a hot girl with a Ferrari. His sadness about his love life is planned to move on. He takes the offer of Castle College and becomes an S-grade student.